Totally cooperating, just relax. Not doing anything without cooperating. Sir, I will be very cooperative. All right, let's try that, please.
That's not you on the 27th. Food line parking lot, Traveler's Rest.
I don't think so.
Look, man.
Where's Edna? I don't know where Edna is.
Yes, you do.
It's not making sense. So you're the last person to be in a vehicle you wiped out of a lady that's missing.
That sounds really up.
28 years ago, this man kidnapped a woman and was sentenced to 30 years in prison for it. 3 decades later, 80-year-old Edna Suttles is spotted picking him up in a parking lot. This would be the last time Edna was ever seen alive. Days later, detectives traced Edna's movement and discovered CCTV footage of the same man driving her car.
She's missing right now.
Yes, Dan, where is Edna?
I don't have a clue.
But that's when police found out Edna wasn't the only victim.
If you tell him to turn that off, I'll talk to you a little more freely.
On August 27, 2021, in the quiet community of Traveler's Rest, South Carolina, an elderly woman named Edna Suttles vanished without a trace. 80 years old, a grandmother and a great-grandmother, Edna was known in her community as a hard-working woman who cared for others. A home care assistant and a former bail bondsman, respected for being one of the first female bail bonds agents in South Carolina. But on that late summer morning, something was very wrong. Edna never showed up for a scheduled visit with a woman she was supposed to be helping.
Greenville County 911, what's your emergency? A sitter was supposed to show up to be with my mom today. Her name is Edna Suttles, and she didn't show up. This is not like her. She shows up like clockwork. So something's wrong.
The first big break came when detectives located Edna's Jeep abandoned in the parking lot of a nearby Best Western hotel. There was no sign of Edna, but her vehicle was there, untouched by obvious crime, yet completely out of place. At first it seemed this might be a simple missing person case, but then surveillance footage told a very different story. Video from cameras at a Food Lion grocery store showed Edna that morning, in her Jeep, pulling into the parking lot, not alone. A man got out of his car and greeted her. They appeared to know each other to some degree. They exchanged friendly waves. Then Edna got into her own vehicle, and they drove off together. That man would soon become the focus of a chilling and complex criminal investigation. Using footage and evidence, detectives were able to track the man through his Food Lion reward card, leading them to 59-year-old Daniel Glen Printz, a resident of Bostic, North Carolina. Printz had been convicted decades earlier in Michigan, in 1997, for kidnapping another woman and was sentenced to 13 to 30 years in prison. He was released in 2009, and his parole ended in 2011. When authorities questioned Printz at his home, he gave strange, evasive answers. He claimed that Edna had become ill, that she had a stomach bug, and that he had driven her car to the hotel before returning her home in his own vehicle. But investigators were not convinced.
Totally cooperating, just relax. Not doing anything without cooperating. All right, let's go. Stand up on your feet. Right there. Yeah. Sir, I will be very cooperative.
What do you do now?
I do a lot of home remodeling, home repairs. I lay a lot of tile, and I got a customer base that has me doing stuff.
Okay, so why Bostic, North Carolina, come all the way down from, say, Michigan or Wisconsin?
Okay, here, this is real easy. I'm originally from the east side of the state of Michigan, but I was in prison in Michigan for a while, and when I paroled to the west side of the state.
Okay. What'd you get locked up for? Because you said you got paroled.
I was locked up for a kidnapping charge.
Okay.
And I did 13 and a half years for that.
Oh, wow.
I did 1.5 years for a false statement on a vehicle title. You know, when they're not sure if they're going to make something, they want something to hold you with. So the false statement, that's all that was. The kidnapping, I was doing some bad shit that I shouldn't have been doing.
Fair enough.
But I shouldn't have gotten kidnapping. But I was doing some bad shit.
What kind of shit? What shit have you gotten?
I really don't want to say.
We're just bullshitting.
Huh?
We're just bullshitting.
Nothing when you're talking to two police detectives in a room. It's just bullshit. Okay, I've been through the system enough to know that.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say about that is I did my time. I made my first
Fair
parole,
enough.
and I haven't been in trouble since.
Hey, and that's great to know. You know, a lot of people, especially being what you've been through, they come out and they go right back to it. I'll talk to you about August 27th, 2021 of this year.
What day of the week was that?
Oh, it was a Friday.
Okay.
Okay, so specifically the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
What, 2 weeks ago? Do you remember where you were at?
Not specifically.
Where do you think you were at?
I've been going all over the place. I've been back and forth to Charlotte. I've been down to South Carolina.
Like, where's your jobs in South Carolina taking you?
Actually, I was down to Traveler's Rest, but I don't know if it was Friday or Thursday. I know I'd been there earlier that week.
But you don't remember which day specifically?
No, it was either Thursday or Friday.
What kind of job were you working on?
I wasn't.
You wasn't?
I wasn't. This lady had talked to me several times. I'd been down to her house 2 or 3 times. We kind of got to be friends. This woman has so many damn problems, mostly her daughter. She would call me and have me come down there.
Okay.
She said she needed to have money at one point in time to help her daughter because her daughter was in jail. Then she needed money another time because she was hiring a private investigator. Because her son-in-law she talked to me all kinds of stuff about it. We got to be pretty good friends about stuff like that.
Okay. How'd you meet her initially?
Years ago.
Okay.
Years ago, it was somebody giving me her name or number, or her my name and number.
What you're telling us is that's not you on the 27th? Food line parking lot, Traveler's Rest?
I don't think so.
That's not you.
That's me. Where's that?
Food line, August 27th, 2021, 9:23,
Okay.
22 seconds. Ringing a bell?
Yep. Yeah, I went down to Food Alliance. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were you doing down there that day?
She wanted me to look at some stuff at her house,
Okay.
and she picked me up at Food Lion because she wanted me with her when she was gonna go meet some guy for private investigator.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
She wanted me to meet her down there.
Okay.
She was nervous because she says, I'm not sure I trust this guy. And she knows I've been in the military. And she says, will you meet me? She wanted me to see if this guy was going to meet her where he was supposed to meet her.
Do you know where?
There was a hotel lobby that he had finally said, meet me at the hotel.
Okay.
She says, drive up there and see if he's there. And I drove up there, and things are starting to sound really squirrely to me.
What were you driving?
I was driving a blue car.
Your wife's car or your car?
My wife's car.
So that's y'all coming down 25, you and her together?
It could be.
Okay, because that's her car. That's about 13:45 on the 27th.
Okay.
So you're with her there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not saying yeah. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that could be her.
Yeah, it's a different angle. I mean, we've watched this car, right?
Okay.
Here's y'all in the hotel parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh look, there's y'all backing in.
Yeah.
And a couple of different copies of it. Backing in.
Yeah.
Oh look, you get out. Nobody else gets out.
I told you that.
You're walking around the car.
Yeah.
You wipe the entire car down.
Because I was worried.
You were worried. There's you walking across the parking lot in front of Little Caesars.
Mm-hmm.
And there's you getting back into your car and driving away.
Oh, she's with me.
Look, man, you are a good dude. I honestly do believe that you screwed up years and years ago. You're not a bad guy, right? Nobody is saying that you're some evil, twisted dude. Okay? We need to know where it is. We've processed the car. We found the dirt. Where did you go off-road?
I never.
Where did you leave?
Oh, I can tell you exactly where she and I had gone off-road.
Please.
When we were going from 25 south, there was, off to the right, there was a truck with a trailer and another vehicle there that had a for sale sign on it. And it looked like an older truck. And I needed a work truck. And I went ahead and I pulled in and with her, and then we pulled out. And it was right there on 25.
Where's right now? Her family is desperately looking for her.
She's missing right now.
Yes, Dan, where is Edna?
I don't have a clue. I dropped her off at her house.
Dan, please listen. You did not drop her off at her house. We have followed that car the entire day up and down 25. There's a number of minutes that are unaccounted for that are not by her house.
Which car? Mine or hers?
Dan, stop playing games. You know what we're
When I
talking
got,
about.
okay, I can help you here.
Okay.
You gotta give me a second. You gotta let me answer the questions when they're asked. When I dropped her vehicle off looking for the guy, she said she wanted me to take her and drive around in my vehicle. So I left her vehicle. I went down to Food Lion and she was in my vehicle with me. And I dropped her off at home.
Dan, we watched the video. She is not.
The car sits there.
It sits there, man.
No, not in her car.
Never.
My car.
We watched
I
you
dropped
go
her
back
off
to
with
Food
my
Lion.
car.
You did not drop anyone off, man.
I picked her back up. She sat in my car at Food Lion and I went back and got her.
No, you did not.
I don't know where Edna is.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Dan.
Let's go back to why you wiped the car down. What you said you were worried about what?
The only thing I did was because I knew I'd been in and out of her car all the time with her. I'm like, there is no way in hell I'm going to just leave this thing here because she's got somebody that's after her.
Who would be after her?
That guy with the truck, she said she didn't trust him.
The PI?
Yeah, so somebody she hired as a PI.
His story's totally different. He's been doing work for her. I mean, on the son-in-law thing. We've interviewed. He had he didn't meet with her today. So that's
Right, that's why I said she hired another PI. I'm sure you're recording this.
It's not making sense. You're the last person to be in a vehicle you wiped out of a lady that's missing.
That sounds really fun.
It does. That's why we're here.
I've been real honest with you guys. I told you what was going on.
There was quite a lot of stuff found in your B house. There could be a million explanations for some of that stuff, and I don't want to jump to conclusions. And if there's something that happened that you didn't intend to happen, let's talk about it.
There are things that have to happen, and there are things that are going to happen. And I'm a realist, and I have acceptance with this. I would like a little bit of control in how they happen. If you tell them to turn that off, I will talk to you a little more freely.
Okay, let's put it this way. A person I was very good friends with wanted to do something to put someone basically out of their misery that was very closely related to them. That's one body. That person started having an extreme amount of guilt over this and decided they were going to go tell what had happened. That's the second body. There's a third body that I did not kill, and I knew that they'd be getting Social Security disability for the rest of their life. So I got rid of said bodies, for example, so that I could continue to use the car.
By any chance, while he's getting all this squared away, can you just help me get that closure for Edna's family?
Not until I have this. I clam up like a clam if this doesn't go federal for everything.
In federal court on June 21, 2022, Daniel Printz pled guilty to the kidnapping resulting in Edna's death. Because he had taken her across state lines from South Carolina into North Carolina, federal authorities were able to prosecute the case. He was sentenced to life in federal prison without the possibility of parole. And while justice was finally served, the scars remain for those left behind. If you want more true stories where every hour matters, stay with us on True Crime 48 Hours.